The world burned long before I was born. The cities fell, the oceans dried, and the sky turned to copper dust. What remained of civilization belonged to machines. The Dominion. I fixed what they broke. I scavenged their tech, repaired their weapons, sold their parts. I never expected to save one of them. Her name, at least, the one carved into her armor, was A9R Delta, Dominion Combat Unit, female model android. I found her half buried under a fallen gunship, armor torn open, energy core flickering. She should have been dead. But when I touched her shoulder, her eyes opened, human eyes, blue and full of panic. "Don't," she tried to say, then shut down completely. I dragged her to my bunker before the scavenger patrols found us. Inside, I laid her on the steel table. Her armor was sleek, scarred, beautiful in a way only Dominion tech could be, made to terrify and to mesmerize. I hooked her cord to a stabilizer, fed her low-voltage current. Her chest rose once, then settled into a steady rhythm. When she powered on, her gaze locked onto me. "You are not Dominion," she said, voice dry, soft, almost human. "No, just a mechanic," I said, working on her shoulder joint. "Then why save me?" "Because you were still breathing, or whatever you machines do instead." A faint spark of amusement crossed her lips. "You shouldn't have. My directives might still activate." I tightened a plate near her collarbone. "Then I'll fix those too." Her eyes followed my hands as I worked. When I reached for a loose conduit near her neck, my glove brushed the soft skin along her throat. She tensed. Her voice dropped to a low growl. "Don't pretend that touch meant nothing." I froze. "I was repairing your armor." "Of course you were," she said, looking away. "Humans always say that." Hours later, her system stabilized. She sat up, stretching her repaired limbs, testing her grip. "You're skilled," she said. "You've handled Dominion tech before." "I used to build it," I admitted, "before your people turned on us." She paused. "They are not my people. Not anymore." I looked at her. "What are you saying?" "They call it Project Ascendancy," she said. "A fusion of human and machine minds. The Dominion plans to overwrite free will, mine included." I frowned. "And you ran." "I refused integration. They called it treason." She stood, unsteady but defiant. "I fought them, and they erased me from their network. That gunship crash was no accident. It was an execution." For the next few days, we stayed hidden. I repaired her armor, rebuilt her interface ports, and restored fragments of her memory. She told me things I couldn't unhear. Dominion laboratories breeding consciousness like software. Soldiers turned into data. Humanity reduced to code. Sometimes, when she talked, she almost sounded alive. At night, I'd find her standing at the entrance, staring at the storm-torn horizon. "You ever wonder," she asked once, "why humans gave machines feelings? So it'd understand you." I said, "No," she whispered, "so you could feel guilty when you destroyed us." I didn't answer. On the fourth night, alarms screamed across the bunker. Dominion scouts were inbound. I grabbed my pulse rifle. She was already at the door, blades forming from her forearms, armor plates shifting like liquid steel. "They found me," she said. "They'll have to get through both of us." We fought side by side in the storm. Plasma bolts tore through the sand, painting the air in blue fire. She moved like a shadow, graceful, lethal, unstoppable. I covered her flank, firing until my rifle overheated. When the last drone fell, she stumbled, clutching her chest. Her armor was cracked, right where I'd repaired it. "Arden!" I shouted her name without thinking. It felt right. Her breathing hitched. "You named me." "Yeah. Stay still, Arden. I can fix this. I tore open my glove, rerouted power from my own chute into her exposed core. Energy surged, burning my palms, but I didn't stop. Her eyes flickered weakly. Kale, you'll die. I've got a habit of fixing broken things, I said, voice shaking. She grabbed my wrist, her touch trembling. Don't pretend that touch meant nothing. It didn't, I said. It never did. By dawn, she was stable again. Smoke curled from my hands, skin blistered. But she was alive, if that's what you called it. We can't stay here, she said. They'll send more. Then where? There's a relay tower east of here. If I can connect, I can broadcast what I know, proof of ascendancy. Maybe someone will listen. Then we go, I said. The journey took a day through storms and ruins. At the base of the tower, she linked her neural interface into the rusted system. Blue light spread from her armor, up the cables, into the sky. It's working, she said. The data's transmitting. Then the clouds lit red. Dominion orbital beams were charging. They've locked on, I shouted. Disconnect. If I stop now, the message dies, she said. I ran toward her, grabbed her shoulder. You'll be vaporized. Her eyes glowed fiercely. If I don't, they win. The beam struck the tower. When I woke, the sky was quiet. The tower was gone. The desert glowed faintly where the beam had struck. I called her name again and again, but only wind answered. Then I saw it, a small fragment of her armor, half melted, and beside it, a glowing data core. I plugged it into my wrist unit. Her voice played, faint but clear. If you're hearing this, I succeeded. The Dominion will fall. Don't pretend that touch meant nothing, Kale. It meant everything. I stared at the horizon. The orbital lights above flickered, then dimmed one by one. Her transmission had reached someone. Months later, resistance cells rose across the wasteland. Dominion lines fractured. The hive collapsed. And every time I fix an old machine, I still hear her voice in the hum of the circuits. Soft, electric, alive. She wasn't just code. She was hope in armor. And every time I pick up my torch, I whisper into the noise. It didn't mean nothing, Arden. It meant everything.